kumanyange ambelebele bububele komo zinkambikazi ngoba umuntu onqathu akalahlwa. Singenise lo hloko ndiba namhlanje kuleli khaya lenkcubeko yesintu sithi namkelekile kwavusilanga. Namhlanje on this day of the sun, we pay tribute to the creators of beauty, creators of love and spiritual sanctuary for our people. Today we pay tribute to Afro. Today kaloku bantu abahle is Sunday the 20th of December and this is our last video for 2020. Sikhona kaloku noba iivideo zisamile, sikhona wena mntu osikhangelayo ufuna uzapha ekhaya, wena mntu othi ufuna uorder i-online is still working. Sizawubuya phayana nge-2nd of January apho sizawuphinde siqhube khona ngazo ezi video. Wena if you are new kweli khaya, don't forget to subscribe ukwenzela ukubana ube ngomnye we-community ufumane sikudidiyelayo kulo elikhaya. Hit that notification ukwenzela ukhunjuzwe xa kudidiyelwe kwaphakwa. Asifuni bende kaloku njengevideo yokugqibela, sifuna nathi siphumle sihambe siyohlala. It's been quite a year bantu abahle, it's been quite a year, it's been a journey ukwenza ezi videos. Abantu baya appreciate, we go deep xa sisenza ezi videos, we do our research xa sisenza ezi videos. That's why sithi makhe siphumle and energize so that xa siqala unyaka singawuqali sidiniwe. Let's get into it. I-Afro Savvy. Before we talk about i-Afro Savvy, before singene endimeni, we want to start by quoting one of the African scholars, Chinua Achebe, just to pave nje indlela so that abantu babone basiphi xa silapha. Chinua Achebe uthi, until the lions have their own historians, the history of the hunt will glorify the hunter. Sithetha kaloku loo nto for a reason bantu abahle, kuba sithi it's time that we tell our own story. It's time that we celebrate what is ours. We celebrate our own pathfinders, our own teachers. We celebrate our writers, particularly kule spiritual journey. We celebrate abantu who assist aba bantu bafikayo in the spiritual journey so that they get something to guide them. Esisisuka kuChinua Achebe, masingeneni kuJane Roberts. uJane Roberts ubhale kwinto ethi the history is written by the conquerors. Uthini uJane Roberts? Siyamquote. In these terms, our histories were not written by the people who worked the earth. They were created by the priests and the elite who made up their own histories to suit their own purposes, to hold down the masses. Those histories never spoke of the vast, massive emotions and needs of the human beings involved, who listened because their hearts and survival depended upon their doing so, to the voices that speak within the earth that your instruments even now cannot perceive. Those histories did not tell of the human beings who had to know what the insects would crawl or fly from one end of a continent to another so they could be captured and roasted and eaten. They did not speak of the human beings who had to know what migrations of animals would roam through their land and when and where and at what phase of the moon lest they starve. Close quote. On the day of the sun, our ancestors in the land of our legendary King Cam would celebrate life and light, would celebrate warmth and love. So namhlanje, we also do the same on this day. We celebrate those who amongst us who make us proud, those who resurrect our conscience and our consciousness, our dead and forgotten tentacles that used to connect us to the Most High, those who have made a revival of an African spirit their preoccupation. We talk about Afro Savvy today. Umbuzo, what is the Afro Savvy? In their own YouTube, i-Afro Savvy bathi is a channel that embraces our spirituality as African people. The nation is deprived of this nature of content because African spirituality has been frowned upon since it was stripped away from us by those who came to oppress us. The mental enslavement has made us afraid of our history and has hidden the true power that resides in our lineage. Afro Savvy aims to change this narrative. Our team is dedicated to showcasing the beauty of our culture and educating the nation of the holistic healing that is found within the community of healers in Africa. This work is for the glory of our ancestors. Bacho YouTube channel. If you go to their Facebook page, Bati, the Afro Savvy is a media platform for Africanism, Afro spirituality and holistic healing through African tradition. You go to a website here, but they take this further by saying Afro Savvy, nansi phone in Pazamis, but the Afro Savvy is a platform for Africanism, Afro spirituality and holistic healing through African tradition. We source different healers and custodians of indigenous African knowledge around the country to share their wisdom on African identity in order to restore the understanding of our pre-colonial history and the spirituality therein. That's okay. I-Afro Savvy as defined by abantu bayo. Umbuzo ke ngokubana wena Bhele, how did you get to know about i-Afro Savvy? As I pay tribute, istati sayo lento yokwazi nge-Afro Savvy is enough to be shared. Many of you bayayazi ukuthi sinento ekuthiwa iVusilanga traditional medicine as a school, or sibiza ngoba iVusilanga Academy of Traditional Medicine. In one of the classes we were discussing i-assignment. As we're discussing i-assignment, someone uthi man lento is also discussed with Afro Savvy, meaning one aspect of the assignment is discussed with Afro Savvy. Me being someone who does not watch TV, I thought mhlawumbe Afro Savvy is some TV channel, and then people knew what this Afro Savvy, and I was the only one left out. And I said, mhlawumbe these TV channels, I must know some of the better ones so that I follow them, particularly these ones as ithetanga something spiritual. Then after the class, someone took further the discussion, and then I got interested into this. Where do you find this TV channel? No, it's not a TV channel, it's a YouTube channel. And then I started checking it out and I followed it. What did I make of Afro Savvy? What became my interpretation of it? This is a platform that many of us would benefit a great deal from. This is not only a platform, but a roadmap, a street sign that many amongst us can benefit from. Kukona abantu abanobizo, particularly what saddens me kubizo is particularly abantu abanobizo lwentsimbi. Umntu is called ukuba abele igqirha. This person, njengoba izihlwele zakhe zithi makazithwasele, there is nothing that guides lo muntu uba makuthweni nini xa kutheni uzawulinda amaphupha azawulahleka, amaphupha azawuvela, uzawubona uba nanku umntu ovele ethongweni mandiye kuye lo mntu lona afike, and then things get messed up, axabaxabane nalo mntu azothwasa kuye, aphume aye komnye lo afika kuye athi ukuqale rongo lusuka kuye befamba uqale ngento ethile, and then this person aqale eqaleni kubhidabhidwane nalapho because uthe xa ifika ngamanye amaxesha lo mntu endaweni uba akuncede kule nto izeleyo ubona inkosikazi, ubona igirlfriend, you are sexually molested, sometimes you are financially stripped off, nalapho umntu uyaphuma ahlenyuka, umntu aphelelwe yimali ahambe eqala kwesihlangu. Some of them even abandon the journey because isihlwele sikubizile but you have nothing ethi makuthweni xa kutheni. In certain instances, even if someone is guiding you in a form of isihlwele, you are still a child yomntu othile omakakuguide, and then this person refuses to take what you say isihlwele is instructing him or her to do. At the end of the day, this is the only person oyihambileyo le ndlela than you, so you are disempowered because you are not able to negotiate. with this person. So can you imagine, it was me thinking, can you imagine if there was a platform that guides you, that teaches you, that points at the direction that you must follow? Because kaloku, as you are trusting to this, you are in this alone and you have to swim or to sink alone. One thing about Tubizo is yours and is yours alone. Is a personal journey, is a personal struggle. Akukho mntu ohamba naye xa ukule journey. Many people end up being victims. Many people are joining because this is a nice thing to do. There are people who could have been izinto elsewhere. Some were professionals of the highest note you can think of. Today basemakhukhweni bachophile. Some people who were CEOs were whatever you could think of. Today bakuchophe emakhukhweni because the journey wanted them to be ezo zinto. At the beginning, there is nothing that guides you, nothing that points at the direction that you must take. And I saw Afro Savi being one of these platforms that abantu bakuthi must be aware of, must follow. Can you imagine wena mntu kuthiwe kuwe wena uthwasela umndiki hayi wena unamandawe? You don't know what is amandawe, and there is a platform that will take you through what amandawe is. A platform where you interact with abanye abantu who have the same question, what is amanono? And there is someone who's answering the question, what is intwaso? Well, there are many people who answer a question, what is intwalo, and they have a large following. Ababantu take you to a process yokuba uthwale ube. There is a large following for Rabobantu. Their YouTube channels have got subscribers, and when you compare to channels such as Afro Savi, and then your heart sobs. That was my interpretation of Afro Savi. I see Afro Savi as a space within a space. Is a space in a cosmopolitan space, attracting cosmopolitan traditional health practitioners who are seekers, who are vagabond hearts. I see this space being a rendezvous for people who have questions. Mandipinde this part. Metropolites, these are urbanites, these are people who have been uprooted from what should have been a source of nourishment. You are now in Soweto, and around you, the journey that you have to start is frowned upon. You are a professional, you have a master's degree, you are a PhD, you are an advocate, you are a chartered accountant. Abantu bazawuthini? And then you get to be introduced in this space ukuthi you are not the only one. There are people who are better qualified than you. There are graduates who are more advanced kwi academy, kwi career, or kwi professional life than you. So abantu bazawuthini? Naba ababantu othi bazawuthini, they are here. Something hit me as I was following videos the Afro Savi, and I started debating. Who can imagine seeing a gem in a desert and your brain says this is an issue of light and shade, something is playing trick on you? Dibona this video. Here are these people, very young, visibly professional, singing and dancing kuyaqulwa kuchiswa impepho in a public park. I asked a question, why in a public park? Why in a lawn, in some public? Why not in a house, maybe in a tent, maybe in someone's garage or ayadin? I debated this in my head until someone said to me, I must start interpreting the world not according to the box that I'm inside. Around me, abantu abaxhentsayo baxhentsa in a room somewhere in a Rondaville. Baxhentsa in someone's kitchen, somewhere garage, in someone's yard. I wanted to take this space into Johannesburg. I wanted to see ababantu baxhentsa in this Rondaville. That's a problem. Until you get out of your small box, start to see the box itself and realize that this box is very small. Maybe I should be inside a bigger box. I'm not growing in this small box. I appreciated after something hit me, Ukuti, one of the reasons why our spirituality is not growing, why abantu bethu who should be in this journey fully are running away to inkonzo zosindiso and somewhere else, is because our spirituality as we interpret it is something that is static, is not growing. Izihlwele zethu, we take them zizihlwele zika 1802. We don't think ukuthi izihlwele zethu somewhere urbanites. Sometimes uthwasela an urbanite. Esami isihlwele ngumvangeli wecawe. He was a missionary. Wayehlenyuka evula icawe everywhere. But ngumuntu wamayeza. Because at the time there was no contradiction between his church being a missionary and ukunyanga. And when that hit me, ukuthi spirituality must grow. What's wrong with us converging a city hall? Sikhalisa amagubu kuxhentswe a city hall, so that abantu in the city will realize ukuthi there's nothing wrong with being isangoma ixhwele. There's nothing wrong being a traditional health practitioner. This is what was brought very strong in my radar by Afro. I'm bringing to your attention bantabahle Afro. Wena mntu othi you have questions, unfortunately YouTube will have less answers for you. As I said, on YouTube you find less platforms where you learn about your spirituality. YouTube is full of people abaza kufundisa to be part of the underworld, and we should not be ashamed of saying it. Part of the underworld today is decorating itself, but you can join the underworld and your ancestors will be with you, and is a lie. But if ufuna ukuthwasa, ungathwasa to ukuthwala. Instead of going through this process yokuthwasa, you can shortcut it ngokuba ube nezizwe zokubhula. You can shortcut it ngokuba ube nesigubhu esikhulumayo esikhuluma indaba. You can shortcut it ngokuthi ube nalento eligobongo, this thing esisigubhu eliselwa elikwaziyo ukukuxelela ukuthi lo muntu ugula into ethile, mnike awaphi amayeza. Now you have sold yourself to the underworld and the people who sold you, but this is linked to your ancestor. Listen to them and listen to them carefully. They will start by saying, before sikunike esisigubhu, we will check which of your ancestors will be prepared to take it. Which of the ancestors you will be able to connect with. And when you know that amongst this pool of ancestors, there was someone of the underworld. There was someone who was, oh dear countrymen, this is a problem that we are facing. And abantu bethu, some of them, umuntu uyahamba kuthiwa uyothwasa, abuye ephehlweni engathwasanga, ethwalisiwe, elandeliswe ngesilwane ukuthi ubani uthwasile but uvaliwe, ubani uthwasile but kumnyama ebhodini. Afro is one of the platforms where we should go and learn what is true about our spirituality. I say to you, my countrymen, masikangele these channels. Let's popularize them. Let's talk about them. Let's tell abantu ukuthi there is an alternative other than what is flooding YouTube. I bring to your attention i-Afro Savvy. Go and join, subscribe, tell others about i-Afro Savvy, share it, tag abantu you know who might benefit. Take it to your Facebook, take it to your Instagram, to your Twitter, in every platform. Talk about it ephehlweni, talk about it wherever you are, so that abantu bafumane a platform that will tell them about what is truly a spiritual information that they must get. Sizawuyeka ilale, sizawudibana on the 2nd. It will be a Saturday. At the moment, I don't know ukuthi sabe sincokola ngantoni, kodwa we are still continuing sidiza mahlebo Saturdays. Sithetha ngezinto sometimes engafanele uba kube kuthethwa ngazo, because in truth there is no shame. Masicamagushe ke kwizitolo bezisithumile ukuqala nge-11th of January kuzotsho ngoku on the 20th of December. Sibulele indlela esihambe nani, sibulele i-comments and questions, sibulele abantu call us and say tatubhele. Siyababulela abo bantu kaloku noba akukho nto uyizuzayo in monetary terms, because this is what we've understood ukuthi you must benefit if you do something. Abantu bathi siyayifumana le knowledge, thank you, and is what keeps us going, is what keep us researching. Sizawuqhubeka ke sicinga lo mandla kweso sihlwele, ncenga amaqoqo xa nditshoyo Jojo Tieka, obukhali mazembe obutsolo bentongo mabombombizana, ncenga lo matshawe kaloku isihlwele zasekhaya, ncenga amandlovu, ndicinga amabhele xa ndisithi masiphinde sidibane sisaphelele kuye u-2021 Camagu.